All right, we are live, and I'm going to switch my camera over just for a moment so that people can see me for the only time during the webcast. So let me switch. Okay, so here we are. This is the Unlikely Heroes of Jordoba, episode number 3. And just to catch up anybody who was not watching earlier episodes, we had half the party go down last episode when they went after a band of mushroom men, and somehow it was only dwarves that survived, and only non-dwarves that died, and the dwarves don't really have anything to say about that. But let's see. I guess I should also mention that we have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Unlikely Heroes of Jordoba. And also please subscribe to the channel. And then with all of that done, we've got new characters to bring in. And so here's the thing, Curzum and Albrecht. The area where you come from up in the mountains has obviously, it's, lots of dwarven communities. There are lots of subterranean little toll roads and things like that through there. And there was an unfortunate incident where one of the subterranean toll bridges collapsed. And then there was a high-speed subterranean donkey chase that took place at reckless speeds through a lot of the corridors until the miscreants escaped. There's some suspicion that the two of you guys might have been the people on the lead donkeys that got away, and so that is why Gabe, your character, is here to persuade them to come back and clear their names, because you are the second cousin of their second cousin. So there's that going on. That. Yeah, no, I figured you didn't. And then Alla, I don't have any background to throw your direction, so you can just talk about your background when we get started. And I'm going to switch my camera over so that we'll be looking at miniatures again. And we can start, and you guys can tell me what it is that you want to do. We're playing, for anyone who's watching, this is 5th edition D&D rules. In the campaign, we also do original D&D rules, and if I at any point think that things are going too slowly, I'll switch us over to original D&D rules as we're going, which I think everybody who's playing is perfectly capable of making that switch. So there we go. You guys are in the you're in the city of Jordoba, and so put a little city of Jordoba piece of terrain there. Ta-da!
Whoa! You
can tell I'm a little bit punch drunk after doing the convention and then my son's wedding, so I'm definitely up for running a game. Don't know what kind of quality show I'll put on for the internet, but we've got a forgiving audience.
Those are some handsome dwarves,
aren't they? Though,
is there any other kind?
I don't know. No one can tell them apart.
Yeah, and it's one in blue.
Dwarf bigots.
So, what do you guys do?
Well,
we don't know anything about that donkey thing.
All I'm saying is that you come back, you clear your names, and then you can go on doing whatever it is that you're doing out here.
I feel if someone does not immediately hear the name of Albrecht the architect and think, a man beyond reproach, then there's no convincing him. But what
he can't ride a donkey.
The thing that people think when they hear your name is, what has that boy climbed into this week?
I think it's a well-known fact that neither of us can ride donkeys.
I think it's a well-known fact that neither of us can reach donkeys.
There's no shortage of step stools in the Dwarven lands. Anyone knows that.
Yes, but in such an urgent situation, who carries a step stool to and fro about with them?
Well, I've got mine right here. Between you and me, Albrecht, I know you're innocent. It's not me that you need to convince.
Who? Who do we need to convince? Who is it in the dwarf community who looks at a man of the cloth and an architect and thinks, these men ride donkeys and haven't haven't acquired the trust of the community.
Well, it's the DODDDT. Department of Dwarven Donkey Transportation. There may have been one too many Ds.
Yet again, we cross paths with the DDDT. Their cold and bureaucratic hands have caressed the spine of my life one too many times.
They've got their fingers into every bit of the Dwarven government at this point, but that's not really the issue here. It's they'll be chasing you forever if you just don't go deal with it.
What I wonder,
I think
whose
they
knees
know
are
we're coming. Eventually,
wait,
maybe.
Gentlemen, do you see those knees over there?
Whose knees are they looking at?
There
The
appears
elves.
to be some knees right about eye level, from what I can tell from the miniatures. Right there.
Let's see, that's probably one of the knees. Oh, I got it. Okay. Yeah, wait till the giant dog comes walking through. Then things get real interesting.
On the far right of my screen, I see three. I see a dwarf, and then if I follow my eye line, I see some knees. Who is that?
A tall dwarf.
With the knees and the pointy sword.
The pointy
This is a
sword
tall dwarf.
was somebody who clearly has accompanied Gabe from the dwarven areas, because possibly the rest of the clan may have thought that they were needing to send somebody who might not be able to navigate their way, and so hooked up with an elven ranger. Your clan is not known for being mental giants, dwarf-wise.
Is that your new bride that you brought? We heard about her.
Ugh, no. Ugh.
Speaking of reaching,
Congratulations.
This is this is an elf. If it wasn't obvious.
Oh,
It's following you.
I don't understand you people at all.
I leap up and wave my
Wait,
hand.
that's your
Wait.
dead character. That's
Yeah,
that,
I know.
that
I,
was
I have.
Virginia.
I had an accent for him, and then I lost it, and then I was like, I can't do. All right, I'm gonna let me work on it. I'm gonna find it.
You should just
Hello, everybody.
you know what you should do, Ala, is you should insist on talking in Russian and having that be Elvish, since nobody understands it, and then only when people force you to actually talk, then you speak in English.
I mean, I could do that. Just don't think I can gibberish enough for our viewers. But yeah. What's up, dudes?
Oh god.
This is the accent I'm going with now. Yeah, he's kind of like a surfer bro. Yeah. No, I'm just walking the little dude over here.
And what would
I
your
hope
name?
you're referring to your member and not me, because that's just insulting.
Whoa! Let's not talk about these sorts of things in the company of children, man. That's just not cool. Look, kids. I'm just a minute. You can call. I go by just Steve. Okay, so just call me.
Do you like
Steve.
mushrooms?
Oh,
We know a good spot to pick mushrooms.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I could go for some mushrooms right about now.
I'll
He's not
have
a
to get more
smart.
butter.
Look, he's not a smart elf. He's something else.
Oh.
All right.
Justine?
So like, you could just call me just Steve. Yeah.
Just Steve.
Just Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, just Steve the elf.
just Steve. Yeah.
Just Steve, yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
whisper
the whole thing.
I'm gonna whisper in Kozim's ear. What's our cousin's name?
Oh, it's Dane. I know it's been a while, but you can just call me Dane.
Robert.
Those are two different names.
One of them is
Other
right.
cousin.
Robert is my twin brother. I'm Dane. There's Dane Fellbeard and Robert Fellbeard. I'm Dane.
Bobby.
No, that's still my twin.
Charles.
And that's my uncle.
he in
He doesn't
charge?
look like me. Okay.
Alistair, come with us beneath the earth.
But so you're ready to go back then? Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I can finally be done with this clap.
But
Yep, we know the way.
Yes.
Fantastic.
The way.
What? Just Steve? Yeah. Why are you here again?
Oh, I was just showing you around, man.
He was helping with your sense of direction because already we've seen that.
Oh, I can't tell anything when the sun's out.
Right. That's why, like Robert, they're telling you that they're coming back with you to Dwarven Town, and what they're actually doing is walking you down into the catacombs under the old city.
What? No, they aren't. That's ridiculous. Whenever you're ready, boys.
Oh boy, are we going for some mushrooms? Yeah, let's do a pit stop for mushrooms.
Excellent. You'll see things you've never seen before.
There is that slight effect from eating mushroom men. So, the two of you guys, Albrecht and Kurzim, when you sampled some of the mushroom man,
With butter.
with butter, yeah. So the hallucinogen might have been the butter, but probably the mushroom. Butter's not exactly sanitary in Jordoba, so.
Did something happen to the cow?
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
It was
if it was
fed
cow butter.
mushroom man.
I mean,
Yeah.
does someone go around looking at every thing of butter and just taint it, and then people eat it anyway? Or
I
is it
did
something
buy it from a place called Tainted Butter.
the process is flawed from the start?
The milk
I-
doesn't come
I
from
understand
cows.
it's a
That's
local
all we're
delicacy.
saying.
Yeah, you get there's the crocodile milk, stuff like that.
Jordoba is known world round for its tainted butter.
I wouldn't
All right.
have it any other way. That's how my constitution became so sound.
A little bit of tainted butter in a spot of
Building up an immunity to harm by constantly slightly harming myself with butter.
So do we want to head back down then and look for some more mushrooms?
That sounds ideal.
back down towards the DODDT.
Yep, we know
Yes.
a secret route in there.
Ah, fantastic. That'll make it much quicker.
Okay, so you guys begin to head out toward the dungeons under the old city, and take me a moment to get my.
It won't take us long to get back to. I just have to retrace St. Muriel's path through the Undercity, and then we'll be well on our way.
Well, you're still in that phase, are you? We thought you'd be over it by now.
I've seen Saint Varial do things to shattered knees and broken ears you would not believe.
She
I
struck down the
worry-
giant mushroom.
I worry, cousin Charles,
Nope, that's my uncle.
about your lack of faith. This
Bobby's
may-
never been one to be strong on faith.
the way that you age and then become younger. It isn't natural.
But okay, we're all dwarves. You should be able to tell us apart. I've never understood this about you.
It's the beard.
Mm. And at this point, his beard actually sort of waggles in frustration, like it almost just sort of quivers with.
It's a common dwarven reaction to Albrecht, I suspect.
Mm.
All right, so you
That's
guys
all.
are.
Where I'm understood.
Let me just make sure my camera's right here.
The plus side, all of us can see in the dark now.
Yeah, that's a big plus there.
Is that full on dark vision, or is that just like predator vision?
It is. It's pretty much. It's full on dark vision. We'll just go with that. We had a thing earlier where people couldn't see undead with it, but let's go with full on dark vision. Okay, so you guys are now. You've gone through the hidden entrance into this area, and so you're looking in toward the crossroad, and you are looking toward the east right at this moment.
All right, this way. I go straight.
Okay, so you start going straight, and you go forward 10, 20, 30 feet. And at the 30-foot mark, there is a door in front of you.
Now, is this basically entering the same way? I know this is a completely different character, but for the purposes of Gabe's map, we're entering the same way we did before and kind of going through.
That's correct.
Cool.
Rip up that map. That character doesn't have it.
Oh.
No,
You'll
but
never guess what I have in me hand. The personal effects of that departed guy whose name
That
cannot-
other character who is no longer present.
Can we see any of the mushroom spores that were here before?
No, they seem to be much, much thinner on the ground now. So your guess
Can we-
is that there hasn't been any real movement. That group of them, you pretty much wiped out. So you would have to be hoping to find, a new supply of them.
Oh, we will.
It will happen.
How's this door look?
Well, you've been through this door before, and to your recollection, you left it closed. To your recollection, you left it open, and it is not open anymore. So that is certainly one possible sign that there are people about.
Being both a dwarf and an architect, I will ask the door how it's doing.
All right.
How have you been?
Apparently, the others in the party can't hear, but the door says back to you, pretty well, philosophical dilemma.
What is the problem, my friend?
Now it doesn't want to talk to you anymore because you pissed it off.
Can I use thaumaturgy while he's doing that to say, could you open me, please, to him from the door?
Yeah. So, Albrecht, the door asks you to open it.
The stone wisdom enters my mind.
All right.
And I push it open respectfully.
Okay. So Albrecht opens the door.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, yes. As one does.
As only a dwarf can.
Not too respectfully, because that would be taking liberties.
You place your hand gently into the ring.
Okay. So you go up, open the door,
Special effects.
and now you are looking into a room that is 40 feet from east to west. You're still looking toward the east, and is 30 feet north to south. That's your right to left. In it, at the center, like I said, see, I'm totally ready to run a game here, but in terms of running a show, I'm a little weak on the whole thing. In the middle of it, there are Albrecht's 4 terracotta lions. So
The speaking lions of Jordoba.
Well, do they really screech?
all right, so there's the lions.
I say put your face up against the face of the lion, and you will hear the voice. It is not unlike the voice of the door.
It's very much not unlike the voice of the door.
Dane will go ahead and put his ear right up to one of the lions.
I
Okay,
nudge
so-
them.
So Dane goes up to the lion, and he puts his ear next to the lion.
I will do thaumaturgy again and say, beware the far door. Stones will fall from above.
Yeah, no, I saw your lips move. Curzon, I know your tricks.
That's right, I forgot, because this... Which door is it? Is it this one here?
It's that one.
You don't know who
It's-
does.
What happened over there?
So there's the... Right, that's the Gabe Memorial Wall.
Hey, I survived that wall.
Barely.
Yes, it's true.
It was the later wall that
A wall of
Mushrooms
mushroom men.
behind it.
Well, this one left a bigger mark on the dungeon, though.
It's
So
true.
Can I check the door to the south of the collapsed door?
yeah, so you go up, and the door to the south of the collapsed door is that one over there. Is that the one you meant?
Yes, it is.
Okay. What do you do?
I'd like to look at the door jamb and soffit.
Okay.
Carefully, and then at the door itself.
You check those out. Doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it.
How about the door handle? Like looking in.
The door handle appears to have a little needle stuck to it with some sort of goo.
Nice. Where exactly is the needle?
It looks like originally it was set to where if you pulled down the latch, that would bring your fingers into contact with the needle. So basically, it's sticking. It's on just on the inside of the door, pointing toward the center of the door, so that if you brought the latch down, it would stab you. However, it seems to have drooped in place a little bit, so it's pointing almost straight downward now.
Oh, that's a shame. Someone's been through this door.
A drooping needle.
Can I take my new thieves' tools and remove that needle carefully?
Yes. Roll that. Tools proficiency.
I do have proficiency. I'm not sure how with my background. So I have a 18.
Okay. So you delicately move the needle to the side, pull it out of the door, and so you've got that, and that looks safe.
Nice
Open.
work, little bearded child.
You want to open the door?
Just Steve, it's safe. You should enter.
Whoa. I mean, I look like I've not been around, but I've been in a couple like holes and stuff. I'll check it out first, just to make sure that's like the only needle that's out to get us. And that is a 21 perception.
What
Okay.
in elf eyes see?
The keen elf eyes do not find anything out of the ordinary left with the door now that the little needle trap was there. It's a pretty crappy needle trap too. You're not really sure who could have put that in there, but it was definitely no professional.
Wow, it looks pretty safe. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the door.
Okay.
Quietly though.
So you have gone up here. You have displaced Curzon there. You go through. You open the door. All right. So that puts you into a room that is, let's see the size here. It is 30 feet from north to south, 20 feet wide, and there is a corridor that's heading back toward the west over in the corner of the room. So that being the corridor. How visible is that? Okay, yeah, you can see it. So that's what you're seeing.
And were there any doors in this room?
There's just the one passageway out.
Let's check it out. It'll go into the other room, clearly.
You may
Okay, so
not
you're gonna.
Our dark vision's failed.
always lead to another chamber.
Okay.
Dramatic doorway.
That's all.
Well, do you want to go first?
All right. So y'all move forward, looking down the corridor.
Cousin Marcus, I believe it is your turn to go first.
I'm sure I don't know who you're talking to.
All right, so you go and you look around the corner of the room, and what you're looking at is a corridor that goes for 40 feet, and then after 40 feet, it makes a T-junction, which would head toward the north and the south.
We haven't seen this before.
No.
I'll head up, peek around the corner, look both ways, avoid that car.
Okay. You gonna move forward?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll go along the wall rather than right through the center of the room.
I'll
Okay.
stay right behind him too.
All
I'll
right.
be a little bit behind them, but very alert, trying to, just in case there's any traps or danger.
Okay, sounds good. 2 seconds. I just realized I don't have my dice here. I'll be right back.
As you move forward, I say to Steve, looking alert,
What do your keen elf eyes see?
Well, I see a bunch of rocks and some more rocks in some sort of vertical formation and also horizontal formation. This is some like fine, like rock formation work, man. You know, you don't really see this in a natural setting.
This is a wholly artificial rock formation.
Can you like tell how old this stuff is? Is it just like man-made or dwarf-made? Like, I don't know. The kids have a good understanding of the rocks and whatnot.
Oh,
I laugh
can't wait to be back.
wildly at like the arrogance of the elves.
No one can tell who built a structure. This is beyond the powers of even the greatest scholar.
The structure exists independently of the person who makes it.
I feel
I
like
thought
it's a
that it was,
missed
if it was
opportunity.
well made, it was dwarven, was the old rule of thumb.
Well,
Okay, let me
of course.
do a quick wandering monster check here. All right, no problem. So you are now beginning to move down the. Did you actually go into the corridor, or was it just the room, Zach, that you were going around the periphery of?
I was walking up to the T-junction so I could look both ways and listen both ways.
Okay. So you go on up to the T-junction. Is everybody else following into that corridor, or are you letting Albrecht completely take point there?
Right behind him.
Okay.
A good 2 or 3 paces behind them.
Dwarf paces or elf paces?
Dwarf paces. Let's be reasonable now.
So
All right.
right behind me.
So you go to the edge here, and the first thing that you do is to take a peek around toward the north.
We knew
And
that was there.
what you see when you look around the corner is that the corridor goes for 10 feet, and then in the 20-foot block, it takes a turn toward the west. And then, turning to look in the other direction, what you've got is a 10-foot wide corridor continuing on for as far as your dark vision can see. What do you do?
And I don't hear anything.
Let's
Well,
go
you-
back to that room.
The one
You
that's
hear-
completely blocked off.
You hear Curzon saying, "Let's go back to that room," and you also hear the thing that's making this sort of scaly, swishy noise.
Scaly fishy noise. In what direction is that?
That is coming from directly behind you, where you are standing right now.
I will look behind me at the source of the scaly and squishy noise.
All right. So you turn around, and the source of the scaly and squishy noise is a reptilian-looking creature, considerably taller than you guys. It's probably about 6 feet tall, and it has just drawn a spear type implement and is lunging toward you. Roll initiative.
Ah. I mean,
Wow, what a stealthy little dude.
Okay, so here's my shot down the corridor. Hopefully that's a little bit visible. And then we have Albrecht right here. We have Kurzim, who is following directly behind Albrecht. And then back in the hallway over here, we have the two of you guys. So the what are my initiative numbers here?
7.
Fell Billiard is on a 19.
Okay.
Holy. I'm on a 1.
14 for just Steve.
Okay.
Just Steve.
So the 19 is going to go first. What are you going to do?
Well, Dane's gonna kind of peek around the corner there
Okay.
and
You
see this thing and level his stubby little broken hammer wand
Mm-hmm.
at,
Chunky wand.
at this thing.
Yep.
And he's gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
All right.
Oh, it's the chunky wand, brother. Now I remember.
Right?
Oh, Dane!
Robert has a really skinny wand. It's
I love
Ah.
that wand with the firework.
What? Why didn't you tell us and show it to
I
us?
said so many times. He says this as he's casting the spell,
right.
which goes horribly awry because he's so distracted by the sudden revelation.
All right. So
You
So-
still haven't fixed the control issue, I see.
I still working on that bit.
so
When
in,
you settle
in
like your mother's bosom, that was a fine independence.
so the Eldritch Blast, while all of the dwarven discussion is going on, shoots between Kurzim and Albrecht, and also by the lizardy-looking Saurian guy, and takes a little tiny chip off of the wall beside him. And then at that point, he attacks Albrecht, but the spear swings over the top of Albrecht's head. Who was next in the rotation?
I think that was me.
Okay, go ahead.
Just Steve, a little bit disconcerted by like all this talk of your wands, dudes. And then he pulls out his
Oh, no,
longbow, and
We're going there, are we?
that's what I thought the euphemism was going. And it's a 16 to hit.
That's going to be a hit. Roll damage.
All right, it is. God, these weird ass dice are great, but I never know which one's actually which. It is 11 points of damage.
Ow.
If you have weird ass dice, you need to be showing them to us.
Okay, there is. He is really, really hurt by that hit. You think you might almost have taken him all the way down with that. So you would have needed to move to here.
I'm using a longbow, so
it's a bow.
wherever
Okay, it's a
from
bow.
yeah.
All right, so you put that neatly between all of the people that you need to put it between. Zing, hit him. He staggers backwards, and then I think it was Albrecht. I think it's you because Kurzim had like a 1. So
All right.
I didn't even know you could roll a 1 in 5th edition. So anyway.
Well, I rolled a 2, and then I have a minus, so it brought me down to 1.
So you almost rolled a 0, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty close.
All right.
I missed this round.
If this guy got hurt, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna use Dwarven Formation Alpha, and swing my hafted weapon toward his face.
Okay.
17 to hit for 5 damage.
All right. Yeah. So you, as usual, Alpha maneuver works, perfectly well, and takes him down. And as far as you can tell, you're not hearing anything behind him. He just sort of showed up alone. You don't know why that would be.
I
We
will. Oh,
quickly search his body.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's happening. I'm gonna look over at Steve and go.
Can you track him to his lair? Back
Uh,
towards his tracks. I mean, obviously, tracking him, he's here, but
well, I mean, it's a little harder on this like smooth stone, but yeah, I could try.
Okay, so
I mean, he does try. Oh God, these guys.
okay, so
It
the
is a-
first thing that you find searching the body, which is what Kurzum's doing, is you come across he's got in his pouch a shallow bronze bowl, and then a wooden stick that goes with it. It's sort of about I don't know, 4 inches long, maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and one end of that stick is more worn than the other. And then in the middle of the shallow bowl, there is sort of an imprint of an anglerfish.
Does it show any signs of having like
stuff in it.
residue? Like,
No.
for example, mushroom residue?
Nope.
Some sort of fun and interesting, or whatever lizard people would consume.
Yeah. Does it look like the craft of the lizard folk?
You don't really know very much about the craft of the lizard folk.
Well, I mean, I can look at his weapons and armor and see if it kind of matches.
It's a little bit better quality than the stuff he's carrying, but what he's carrying is not completely primitive either. But the working of the imprint on there, yeah, that's somewhat higher quality than what he's carrying.
Do I recognize the symbol as like a god or anything locally?
It's a very common symbol of the god Thalascoptus, who is an evil sea god.
Ooh.
And what's the bowl worth?
You figure it's probably worth intrinsically it's probably worth about 10 gold pieces, but there are people who would probably pay as many as 30 or 40 gold for that.
I think if we don't hear any more, we should drag the body back to that main room, or at least around the corner, and then check out the fourth room in that hall with the terracotta lion dog things.
Well, I rolled a 16 on survival to see if I can track where he came from. Maybe we can see if there's more that way.
Okay. So I'm hearing two things here. We've got you on the one hand, you've got the proposal to go back to the room. Now that is not the direction that he came from. He came from back in the direction of the four-way intersection that you all run into right when you enter this area.
Mhm.
And then so you're sort of looking around and looking down that. If you look around that corner, just Steve, you see sort of slightly wet, paddy footprints heading off, but they don't turn and go into the main room. They continue onward to the north. So, in other words, the direction that the camera is looking right now, if you
Yeah,
go up
so you take a
around
left
the
and then
corner, yeah, exactly, and then you turn down here, and then this corridor, that you're
it's 10
looking
feet, then
over
10
there.
it goes to the right.
Exactly, and then it just goes straight through to the four-way intersection, which also had a jink in it the same way, and I don't think you guys explored past that.
I'm gonna hack off like whatever looks like the most convenient cut of meat off his body.
Okay,
Um,
that's probably an ear.
I want something like, okay, if we find a guard dog or something, like something that's like about like half a bread loaf size.
Mhm.
I can just throw and be like
Something he could sink some teeth into.
Okay, so you get like a dog meat chunk off of him.
Yeah, something that looks tactically about.
So I still think we should check that fourth room
Okay.
Okay,
before we head further north.
so you guys turn back around.
So that's pretty reasonable, little dude.
We could take that right too. We could just take that right hand turn and go back in.
Yeah, that's what I think you're going to do, right? Just go back this way.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you're backtracking. Oops.
Cave in.
Didn't even take that long for rocks.
I
to fall
failed
and
my
kill us.
dexterity save.
All right, so along you go. Here you are back in this area. And
Now the
you-
door to on the southwest corner.
Okay, so that southwest corner.
That's the one.
I
Oh,
walk
she's
to the
pretty.
door. I say, hello, my oblong lass. You've seen much in your days, but still in fine fettle. And I put my
Can we
ear
take
up.
a look? Oh,
Take a look where.
I'd like to
think-
look
think
for
a friend
the
needs a moment with
collapsing
the
door to
door
come in.
here. Oh,
right.
little dude's so weird with the doors, man.
So check in the soffit around the frame.
Okay. And this one does not appear to have any sort of traps with it. So you're.
So hinges and handle
Yep.
looks good.
All looks good.
Is it locked?
Nope.
All right, I'll open it.
Okay. So you move up. Open the door. You are looking into a room. I have got to get something to control the cables moving around on this thing because they keep pulling the camera all kinds of directions. This is a 30 by 20 room, 20 feet from north to south, 30 feet from east to west, and obviously you're entering into the easternmost portion of that north wall. The room looks like it is entirely empty, though.
I'm gonna look around on the stone and stuff for any. I'm gonna search the room carefully because I get the feeling that
Search the western wall.
yeah, I'll search the whole thing. I get the feeling that either there's something hidden or there isn't anything hidden, but wasting this too much time will bring a wandering monster, which I can kill for XP.
Okay. So you begin.
So
You begin checking around. Give me a. Everybody, give me a perception check, and then tell me. What you
Dane,
resolve.
watch the door.
Very nice. Fine. Somebody watches the door.
Watch the door.
All right. So Dane is watching the door.
22.
Wow.
All right.
16 for me.
Oh, the 19.
And-
It's better than my 2.
Okay. Zach, what was your role?
11.
Okay. So y'all watch Albrecht as he heads over to check the wall. And as he's walking along with his 11 perception, you notice that all of the stones that he's stepping on sink down maybe a couple of inches with each step. So he's walking along, rock goes down, steps onto the next one, the old rock comes
Stop.
back up.
This is the first time I feel like I've conclusively proved in D&D that I'm smarter than my character.
All right. So you yell stop and
Wait, I throw him a rope and then move to the door quickly.
God, Albert got beheaded.
Yeah.
well he's fine. I mean the rocks keep coming up and they're not going all the way down into water or anything like that. So I mean he's not entirely sure what the stop is or why someone threw a rope at him or anything like that.
Tie yourself off. Tie yourself off. The stones were sinking.
Okay, I start tying up the rope around my waist, and I go, a sinking?
I move back to the door,
Okay.
and I'd
So
like to
you-
brace myself at the door with the rope and say, "Okay, go ahead."
Either
All right.
the rocks are thinking, or you've lost about
Okay, I'm gonna
half
look.
your height.
I'm gonna look down at these. I'm gonna crawl up on the floor and look down at the rocks that are sinking, and be like, "What's going on with these?"
Okay. Just as you're looking and becoming sure that these rocks can be lifted up, you suddenly the floor begins sliding away underneath you as they pull you at the end of the rope back toward the door. So when I say that it's sliding out beneath you, I don't mean that anything odd is happening in the dungeon. I just mean that you are now moving laterally along the floor as you're being dragged by the rope.
Right, but at the edge of the stone that begin to sink.
Mhm.
I wasn't pulling him. I just wanted to brace so that if he fell, I could catch him.
Oh, okay. In that case, so what were you? So what is it you're looking at then, Zach?
I'm looking at the line between the stones that are just stones and the stones that sink, and I'm trying to examine the mechanism or the juncture, or just figure out what's going on there.
Sure. Okay, first thing that you discover is that none of these are actual mechanisms. It's that these stones are just sitting on some sort of very marshy, squishy surface, and there is water that sort of bubbles slightly at the edges of the stones. So it's just they're not mortared together, and they're all sitting on something that is squishy. But it did not do anything like suck you under or start any sort of trap. It's just that's sort of the way that this room is now in this condition from something.
Okay, well I got a crowbar, so I'll crowbar them up.
Okay. You have no problem doing that. The only actual difficulty with doing that is the suction from the wet stuff underneath. And so you pry up one of the stones. You're easily able to pry up a second and a third so that you can sort of see what's going on down in there. It's a very kind of loamy soil that is that's underneath the stones in this room that has clearly at some point either rotted away or eaten away the mortar that was originally holding the stones in place. Obviously you don't know how deep it is. You want to stick your hand in there?
First I'm gonna pull away as many of the how many blocks does it seem like are on this loamy area? The whole room or what?
Well, you're sort of looking around with the close view of it, but Curzum has already basically noted that the entire room is like this. So you start branching outward, and then Curzum's like, it's the whole room. It's the whole thing.
I think we should leave. This is.
I thought we were doing some like good old fashioned killing of stuff. I didn't realize we were down here to lay some new tile.
I actually think he's doing the exact opposite.
Albrecht is fast.
You gotta remove the old tile to put in the new tile.
Absolutely want to know what's going on here. So I'm gonna prod at this with my crowbar and examine this loamy soil.
Okay, so your crowbar, you push it in and it sinks down through the stuff. It starts to offer more resistance. You push hard. You're able to get your crowbar all the way down into this stuff. So whatever it is, it's crowbar deep.
Hey, little dude, do you want to borrow my shovel?
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. That seems like it might be easier if you're gonna be, doing whatever you're doing.
At this point, Matt, I want to be watching into the room towards the door that goes to the west.
In the room to the okay, so that's the one that you came in
into the
lion room. Yeah,
the lions. Yeah.
Okay, the room that comes into the lion room. All right, you're watching that, and now you also Gabe is watching that whole room too. He's watching the rear.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig and see what's going on.
Okay, so you start digging, and it's not easy. I mean, it's not but it's coming out and it's wet. So you're slopping piles of it. It's basically a lot like wet mud, except it doesn't quite have the same texture as that. And you roughly where in the room are you digging?
I'm gonna start in the middle. Unless there is a border to the stones that are on the loam that's outside of here.
Well, the loam, they're basically around the door. So basically in sort of a in the 10-foot area around the door leading into the room, the stones are a lot more stable. So you've got basically you've got 3 corners where you could be digging, or in the basically the middle.
Okay,
So,
what I'll do is go as far away from the door where we entered as possible in the center.
okay. So that's gonna that's actually gonna put you right where your figure is standing there in the camera. And so
Fill a sack.
You begin digging. Anybody got a sack when you suggest that?
I'll throw a sack to him.
Okay. Curzum throws you a sack. You can fill the sack up, and there's still plenty more digging to be done. What is your strength?
17.
Okay, so you're just digging away. You've got absolutely, nothing holding you back on this. This is a favored dwarven activity. You haven't had a lot of exercise recently, so you're digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. You go down 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Wandering monster check.
Dane will
6
motion to
feet.
just Steve. Yeah, be like, really, he does this. You best be finding a good place to sit because he could be at this for a while.
7 feet.
Okay.
8 feet.
He's still going.
9 feet.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
10 feet.
Fill the sack.
You guys are now seeing that the edges of Albrecht's pit are now beginning to slide inward a little bit. There's still shovelfuls fountaining up.
You'll be needing some supports if you need to go much deeper, friend.
11 feet.
I start pulling them back, or trying to.
How tall are the ceilings in here?
As far as you can tell, about 25 feet.
Oh God.
But that's including the fact that you're 12 feet down.
I'm gonna go 15 feet down. Oh, so wait. How high are the ceilings in here if I was standing on the floor?
10 feet.
Okay, so I've gone down more than 10 feet.
Yeah, you're about 15 feet down now.
I'm going to take.
Actually, and given that that's the fact, that's as you stop and do this, your foot down at the bottom of your thing sort of scuffs against something that feels like not wood, not stone, maybe metal. It's kind of a smooth surface down there.
I will, of course, investigate.
Okay. At this point, all the rest of you see the top of the pit beginning to slide inward. What do you do?
Oh, I grabbed the rope with Curzon.
Okay.
Are we doing this?
Right.
I don't know if we can pull them up.
All right. It slushes downward, and the entire floor level in the room goes down by about a foot when that happens. Okay.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Albrecht, you have discovered a metal door down at the bottom of this pit, and you've opened it just in time as a tide of mud pushes you down into a room, and the room that you're in is about, call it roughly 30 by 30 feet, although the walls are a different kind of rock feature than the others. There's a whole bunch of mud and slime and weird loamy earth coming down into the top. You are able to see, however, that there is a door to the north. So actually, let me go ahead and I'll make your little room here so that you can see what it looks like.
I think a graboid got him.
Wrong genre. Okay, so now we have Albrecht is down in Albrecht's personal room, and
Albrecht's personal room.
I mean,
And
Al-
full of mush.
Albrecht's personal room has a door in it. And here's Albrecht, and more problems with the cables. Okay, so here's Albrecht, and Albrecht is all alone in his room, and there's the door to the north. There is a quantity of mud that continues falling on your head, Albrecht. What do you do?
I'm gonna yell at them to pull me up.
Okay, up at the top, you guys don't hear anything.
All right, if they don't do that, then I'm going to use my own grappling hook and try to get out of here.
Well,
Okay.
I think we were pulling anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the-
we were just debating whether we were strong enough.
All right. So you get out your grappling hook, and at about this time, their rope goes taut, begins to pull you toward the ceiling into the very slow-moving waterfall of mud. There's really nothing for your grappling hook to be able to get a purchase on anything. But as they slowly haul you upward against the force of the mud coming down, you're able to at least get your grappling hook sunk into the area where the stone ceiling of your personal room has the hole in it that you came in through. And so I don't know if I'm expressing this very well, but you're able to at least get a grappling hook in there so that you're not pushed down any further. Basically, you hook it into the roof as opposed to the ceiling of this room.
Okay.
All right. However, at this point, it's beginning to become difficult to breathe because of all the mud.
Yeah.
Any strategy for dealing with that, or are you gonna just?
Okay. How rapidly am I being pulled up?
Oh, you figure maybe 1 foot per minute.
Oh, geez. Am I pulling is this mud that's coming down enough to fill the whole room that I'm in?
You do some quick calculations. Let's see. There's 15 feet in between.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
15
the
feet.
top.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
it would eventually fill it.
yeah, okay. I'm going to. So, am I actually pulling myself up at this point, or am I just being pulled up by them?
You don't once you're up to the top there, you don't have anything to grab onto except for the rope that they've got up at the top. So you can grab that rope and try and climb up it at the time that they're doing it. It's just that there's so much volume of mud, and it's heavy, that it's really pushing down very, very hard against you at the same time that they're trying to haul you up.
I just feel like if I try to cover my face, okay, it's slow. So I guess I'll cover my face because it's going to be a while before I get pulled up anyway. So I'll do that.
All right, so you cover up your face.
And I'll come help try to pull him up a little bit faster, but I'm not strong. So
Okay.
I think keeping watch is a good idea for you too.
yeah, it's kind of like, do I put my bow down so I can help you guys? Maybe move him like another foot per 10 minutes? I don't know.
Well, foot per minute. So, all right, Zach, make a. We're gonna do something weird here. Make a Constitution save. You don't see those very often.
I got an 8.
Okay, so you feel yourself falling unconscious from lack of air. Is there anything that you did? This is only after 1 minute. So you've gone 1 foot out of 14. You're running out of air. You're beginning to suffocate. What do you do?
I'm going to run and open one of the doors. I'm going to drop and run through one of the doors.
In order to drop, you're going to have to cut that rope.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay, so you cut the rope, you drop down, you lie there gasping for a few minutes and very pleased that nobody caused you to start making death saves, and then you run to the door.
I guess. I mean, is that the furthest I can get from where the mud is pouring down? Is that door?
Yes. Now, and again, the mud is not so much coming down fast as it's just coming down inexorably. You could stay in this room, you're pretty sure, for hours and hours before it would actually fill with that mud.
Okay, so it's just that the hole's not big enough for it. I mean, is that it? Like basically you're climbing into like the bottom of a funnel?
No, it's more like you're trying to climb up a pipe that has a lot of mud coming down at you.
Right, but if the hole were bigger,
Mhm.
then the mud would be coming down like a waterfall around the rim of it rather than just straight into the face of whoever's climbing up.
That's absolutely right. And so if you were to widen that hole to the point that it wasn't just coming straight down, then yes, absolutely, you'd probably be able to get up the middle of it without anything like the kind of pressure that you're getting right now.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, and the other thing is that in the corner of the room, the one that that you're looking at directly from here, there are also large bubbles that are going up through the mud, forming at that corner and then shooting upward as the air pressure is equalizing between here and the chamber up above.
Oh, I'm confused. I'm looking at a corner in the camera. From that corner, there's bubbles
going up. If you look up, this is where the air from this room is being pushed out and up.
I mean, the room's not full of water, right?
Correct.
And I'm seeing bubbles.
They're going. Well, you're seeing. Oh, there's stone up there. Okay, so yeah. You're seeing just the effect. You're seeing the effect of the air pressure equalization up there at the top of that corner. So it's like bubbles sizzling through the stone work or something like that. As a dwarf, you're able to tell that that's going on.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for a sec. Okay. I'm gonna let
everybody. Have we pulled up the rope yet?
I just want to see if they're gonna do anything while I'm doing something.
Right. No, you guys pulled up the rope instantly because as soon as he cut it, you guys were pulling with all your strength, and so it comes up, and the rope's been cut.
All right. So what can we see now?
Mud monsters got him.
Hell.
Do we see bubbles of air coming up in a spot?
You are seeing. Let's see. What would you guys be seeing there? You would be seeing. Yes, you are seeing air bubbles coming up in two places. The ones that are directly from the hole where it's draining down on top of Albrecht, and then off in the which corner of the room is that?
The
northeast.
West.
Yeah, the north corner. You're seeing large bubbles coming up through the goop there as well.
Is Albrecht still within 30 feet of us?
Yes.
Okay, Dane is going to use Awakened Mind.
Okay.
And telepathically connect with his second cousin's second cousin.
Okay.
And he's basically just going to reach out and make sure that Albrecht, second cousin, are you still alive?
Lisa, what are you doing in my mind?
What? Okay, not enjoying it, I'll tell you that. But okay, what the heck happened to you?
I found a room, a chamber. With a door. A hidden door.
So, what's happening to all the stones in the room?
Where you guys are, the stones are sort of they're sinking downward. I mean, the whole level of the floor is moving down as the supporting loam slowly pours down into Albrecht's personal room.
What I will say in actual vocal speech. Well, he's alive down there. He's found some sort of room. Of course, he has.
So, which area appears to be the shallowest?
The area where the other set of air bubbles are coming up.
Okay.
Other than the slowly evolving funnel. All
right. So, I'm gonna tie the rope to me.
Okay. You tie the rope to you.
And I'd like to begin moving towards that side.
Okay, so the rope is tied to you now.
Do you want us to hold the other end, little dude?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so you've got 2 people. Are y'all keeping an eye out behind you?
Yeah.
Just
As
Yeah.
much as we can, and holding on to the rope.
And Zach, are you keeping an eye out behind you?
yeah, of course.
I think Steve, yeah, is
I
room behind, and I'm trying to help with the rope.
All right, so Albrecht turns around, having forced his second cousin out of his mind, or at least so he thinks. Turns around and finds that there are 3 more of the lizardy-looking guys down in his personal room with him. Roll initiative.
Oh, 8.
8. Okay. They all. Let's see, what are they going to do? Do you say anything before this whole thing devolves into combat?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you said roll initiative. You didn't.
I know. Well, but go ahead. What do you?
I will turn and I will say. Let's see. What languages have I? How do languages work in 5e?
For the oh well, I mean you've got common and then choices of other ones, but common is pretty widely spoken.
Yeah, I'm
It's
just
pretty common.
wondering if I can. Thanks.
Yeah, hence the name. Yeah.
But I mean, does it depend on like your intelligence or anything?
I don't know off the top of my head. Why?
Just because I would like to be able to speak a language other than common right now.
Well, you speak Dwarvish.
Yeah, you could always fall back on Dwarven.
Yeah, but maybe other than Dwarven or common, like maybe lizard man or goblin or something evil.
All right. Well, you can speak fairly passable Goblin, but the thing is, you can order food in Goblin. You can proposition someone in Goblin. You can cuss somebody out in Goblin, and if you want to come up with some combinations of those that will work for other forms of communication, then I will let you do that.
I will hold out the plate with the fish.
Okay.
Copper plate.
All right.
And I will say, in Goblin, I will say an obviously bad goblin, like someone who's desperately trying to get their point across, something about food that is incomprehensible, and hold it out to them, like, hey, I found your plate, guys.
Okay, so you say, foodish something, food.
While trying to while doing, I mean, I can't do anything. I just say things because it's not my turn yet, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say that while I hold out the copper.
Well, yeah, I mean that you can manage to get that out before the whole initiative roll thing, and so they pause for a second, and let's see. Well, that's an interesting thing. All right, so one of them, first of all, one of them says, "Do you speak common?"
I will not say yes.
Okay.
I will speak again in terrible pigeon goblin, like I'm a foreigner who's confused.
Zach, I gotta hand it to you. That is some quick thinking. To not let on that you understand them. Okay, so they then continue thinking that you don't understand common. They continue to talk amongst themselves in common. And so one of them said, "Did what he said make any sense to you?" And the other one, now they're speaking a very accented, ancient form of common, but you're able to understand it.
I have a guild introduction letter from the Architects Guild because it's my background, and I will hold it out and point to their leaky ceiling.
All right. So the other one says, all right, so he said that he is a reviewer of things and something about food reviews, but he held out one of the sacred singing bowls. What's he reviewing? And the other one says, well, I don't know. Maybe he's a cleric, maybe, of Thalascoptus. And the other one, and then you hold out your piece of paper and you point at the ceiling. So they all look up at the ceiling, and they're like something, what, about one of the temples up on the surface in the city? I guess, what is that? Is his credentials as a cleric or an inquisitor? Maybe he's an inquisitor.
They read common? Can they read?
No. They're looking at your paper and they don't know what it says.
Yeah, I'm gonna point and be like,
Right.
hey, like in crappy goblin, like, I'm here to fix your ceiling. I'm from the Architects Guild. And
All right, so they all right, so there's
loud enough that my friends will realize I'm talking to someone in the middle of an encounter and I need help.
all right, so that's going on. Meanwhile, back at the top, what is it that you guys are doing? Ian, you've got a rope tied around you, and
I was headed for the second bubbly place.
okay. All right, so while you're talking, Albrecht, you're pointing at your qualifications and telling them that you're here to fix the ceiling. You're pointing at the ceiling. And as you're pointing at one part of the ceiling, you notice out of the corner of your eye that directly overhead, one of Ian's boots has just poked through the mud in the ceiling and is on its way sliding down. What do you do?
I'm gonna point and look at it like, holy shit, someone's invading your chamber. Like, and then like get ready, like as if I'm gonna fight, but not draw any weapons in a threatening way. Just be like, oh no, some kind of dwarf, like, and in goblin, like, Briark, like.
Okay, so you join the lizard men type guys here, and so all of you guys are arranged like that when with a loud plopping noise, Kurzim falls through the ceiling, covered with mud, shaking mud off himself.
I am born from the mud and the earth.
Whoa.
All right.
What language do you say that in?
Dwarven.
Okay.
What other language is there?
I'm gonna yell at him in Dwarven. Don't hurt my lizard men friends. They're very I'm here to fix their ceiling. And I don't know what kind of intruder you are. Like that.
All right, Ian, what do you do?
I pull out Muriel's thumb.
You know what would be freaking awesome in situations like this? It would be if I could mute y'all's mics so that you couldn't hear what different people were saying, so that Ian would be arriving in this whole situation with no clue.
I could have turned off if you need.
I feel like
Okay.
we simulate not knowing what we're doing, Matt, pretty well.
Yeah, no, that's very,
Kind of
very
a
true.
default.
But it would still be hilariously funny to have it actually happen just dead cold. Albrecht is yelling at you about his lizard man friends.
I brandish Muriel's thumb, pull
Okay.
out some muddy butter, and speak in Dwarven and say, Muriel has blessed me by birthing me through the stone again. And then I hold out the butter to them.
Okay, you're holding out the butter to them, and all right. So one of them steps forward and takes the butter, and he steps back again, and they all sort of look at each other.
I will point at the middle one,
Uh-huh.
and I will pull out a stick of incense,
Okay.
and I will hold it out to him.
All right. They're starting to get this now. He steps forward. He takes the stick of incense. He steps back.
Now I will do it to the last one.
With what?
This time I will use a golden coin.
All right. He steps up. He takes the golden coin. He steps back. The other two attack him.
Nice.
All right. So they're all fighting over there in a corner next to. They sort of jostle Albrecht out of the way. So the two dwarves are looking at each other as the three guys are fighting over the gold coin. What do you do?
I think we attack them now.
Are they making noise? What about everybody else upstairs?
Say, whoa, little dude, my elf ears are picking up the sounds of combat downstairs.
Are you there?
No.
I'm still holding on to that rope, but
Oh, I'll give the rope a couple tugs.
Okay, so you give the rope a couple of tugs, and Albrecht, are you actually attacking them, or were you just saying time to attack them?
I'm not attacking because they're fighting each other, and maybe one of them will kill the other one, and then.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yeah, what happens is that eventually two of them are dead.
oh jeez.
And the one who originally got the butter takes the incense and the gold coin, and then Albrecht, he reaches out to you and points at that bowl.
Is it the butter or the incense he's trying to trade for the bowl?
He doesn't appear to be trading anything. He's just reaching out for the bowl.
Is he reaching out at like, give it to me, or is he reaching out like, hey?
So his hands are full at this point, right?
No, one of his hand has got a buttery gold coin and a buttery piece of incense in it. The other hand, he's reaching out, and it's not like demanding the bowl. It's just holding out his hand for the bowl as if he totally accepts that the next thing that you were about to do was put the bowl in his hand.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna put the bowl in his hands. While I say,
I'd like to hit him.
In Dwarvish, I say, maneuver alpha. I mean,
Yeah, and I scream Omega in Dwarven, and I hit him.
Okay, roll the
That
hit.
exact moment is when Dane drops through the muddy ceiling.
oh shit, narrativism.
I think I hit, actually.
What'd you roll?
I had an 18 on the die, so I've got a 19 to hit.
Okay, roll damage, and you have advantage on this because he's busy looking at the bowl that Albrecht was in the middle of handing over to him.
So I do 6 damage with my Warhammer.
All right, that is not enough to kill him.
Is he hurt at all from the fight, or did he just take out his friends like?
Oh no, he's hurt. He's hurt from the fight, and the other two sort of did more damage to each other. It was a three-way brawl. Okay, so Dane falls down here at this point.
It's a Dwarven birthing chamber.
All right. Now,
Oh no.
Paula, did you hold Dane's rope?
I was watching behind him, but I guess since he decided to go down there, I think just Steve is going to follow as well.
Okay,
He's
so
like, well,
just
I guess
Steve comes
I
down
guess-
as well.
We literally just completed a classic Dwarven matriarch.
Okay, let me see. All right, Albrecht, I'm going to say that you don't immediately get to attack because you were busy holding out the bowl and sort of setting the guy up for not seeing
I don't
what
even
it
know
was.
if he knows that I'm a foe. Like I've just, I'm.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually.
Other dwarf that I don't even like, who I was yelling at earlier, has hit him in the back of the head.
Right.
I'm trying to just give him a bowl. I don't even.
Okay. So yeah, he spins around and he attacks Curzum, and he rolls terribly and misses. So let's go to the top of the round and roll initiative. So everybody, give me an initiative roll.
Ugh.
Anybody got like
I
a
did much
15
better.
or higher, or?
I did much better. I have a 6.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Hey, that's what I got too. Awesome. It's like we came
So-
out of the same mud womb.
Anybody roll better than a 6?
I'm on a 9.
Anybody do better than a 9?
No.
Oh, okay. So he is going to swing at. All right, actually, he's going to run around and hide behind Albrecht.
Okay. I don't know if I can. I don't have a turn yet, but.
Well, who's in 9? What do you do? Who's in 9?
That's Dane, and Dane's gonna he's gonna look around, not really certain what he just dropped it on, and pat just Stevia on the back and be like, "You may not be a dwarf, laddie, but you've been birthed by the earth just the same."
All right, who's going in 6?
I'm gonna
I
let
feel
Ian
like
go
you're
first.
speedier.
No, no,
I
you.
do
you
feel like
go
you're
first.
speedier than me.
I'm pulling like mud out of my face.
Okay.
All right, Ian.
In common, I say, lay down your weapon, and the Great One shall bless you.
Okay. So we're gonna say that. Let's see. The yeah. Let's see how smart this guy is.
I have a deception skill that I'm actually skilled in. If you want some of that, I could spread that around like muddy butter.
Well, okay. So the thing is that when you say the Great One will bless you, and see, the thing is that there's been. See, that bowl's a religious item.
Oh yeah, we know, and I'm using the vagaries of lots of religion to confuse him if possible.
Yeah, and
Also,
so
you
you
know the name
tell
of-
him.
You identified that god, the fish god. So
Yeah, Thalassocoptus is the name, Ian. However,
Yeah,
before-
I have it written down, but
yeah, okay. So, you're talking about the Great One. He's friends
I
with
can-
Albrecht, and so okay, you talk about the Great One, and so it decides that the smart thing to do in this circumstance is to kneel down in front of Albrecht and make a gesture that looks worshipful. What do you do?
has he dropped his weapon?
He wasn't using a weapon; he was using claws.
Oh, there's only one way to drop claws.
are we still in initiative rounds?
We can be. I mean, he has stopped fighting, so
Okay. Then I'm gonna say in Dwarvish to Kurzim, tell him he doesn't know I speak common. He doesn't know that I speak common.
I hear ya.
if you're going to speak
Translate-
Dwarvish, you got to do the accent.
Translate what I say to him. What I'm
Okay.
say is that the fish god, whatever the name of the fishy god is,
I got that one.
me here to find. I have to, from the Architects Guild, I must examine the entire edifice, especially the valuable areas of their home, and check the walls and joists, because as you can see, the ceilings are fallen in. And I've been
Right.
All right. So, Ian, how do you translate that? What is it that you say?
So I turn to him and I
Uh-huh.
say in common, the Inquisitor of the Great Thalassocoptus has come to examine the shrines and check on the valuables hoarded within this area.
All right. He nods his head, makes a gesture, to follow him, and heads toward the door. Now, at this point, in order that I don't have all my joints cramp up from sitting on the floor moving minis around, let's take about a 15-minute break, and then we will come back. We will still stay live. So if you want to mute your microphones or anything like that, and we'll take a 15-minute intermission, and we'll be back at 7:50. Does that work for everyone?
Works for me.
All right.
All right.
7:50
then.
was 40 minutes ago for me though, and I think Gabe and Ala too. So
Yeah, but it's my time, so
no, I'm just.
we will travel back in time. At which
We're
point?
actually in Central Time.
Oh, bust, Ian.
You guys should hang out on Pacific time, man. You got the whole day ahead of you.
If only we could someday.
All right. We'll be back.
Mm-hmm. You're just joining us right now. We're on break because Matt's joints are creaky. He's been bending over and pushing this camera through the dungeon all this time. Now he has to not do that for a while. But as you can see from Matt's camera, which is probably small at the bottom there, there's been a lot of lizard men. But then we got them all to fight each other by, I think, handing them a gold piece, which perhaps suggests that our plan to follow them back to their lair and get their valuables might not be the most rewarding plan. But what are you going to do? Now, I know that at this point, you know, if you are watching, you're thinking, how long is Zach going to just keep talking at the camera? Doesn't he have things to do on the break? I do. It's true. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to stop. On the other hand, if you're just joining the stream now, I don't want you to be confused. So maybe I should make a sign and put it right in front of the camera, like, we're on break. But then the big question is, how do I make a sign? Because I haven't got a sign prepared. I've got paper.
Are you just talking to yourself?
I'm talking to whoever's watching the stream.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Are you in the dark?
No, I have a little camera
Oh,
dongle.
I thought you were
Tingly dongle.
in the dark alone.
Oh.
See, I just figured if somebody's just tuning in now and they don't know that we're on break, they're like, there's nothing going on in this stream. I thought you had a lollipop for a second. You just have a stick. What is that? A
I
pocket?
got Pocky, yeah.
Oh man, can I have one?
It's like some limited edition. Yeah.
You have
It's
limited
chocolate
edition?
cream biscuit with like chocolate cocoa powder on it. It's really good.
That's kind of just cruel.
It's not like a regular, it's just extra fancy Pocky.
Like, does it taste extra fancy, or is it just like look?
It tastes more cocoa-y.
More,
It's like they dip the stick in actual like raw cocoa. I don't know how to describe it. That's good.
how did you get limited edition Pocky?
So some of it, I think we got it from Gabe's mom, who sent it over as like a care package from California. Because we were like, oh man, we miss the snacks in Japan because they're so good.
Oh, so that means it might be here in Little Tokyo.
You might be able to, because you're what are you in LA or San Francisco?
I'm in LA. I'm like really close to Little Tokyo too, so I could be like, hey, where's that limited edition Pocky?
I mean, you could probably go to like just about any of the Asian markets over there and just find it.
But you said it was limited, and I thought, you know,
I think it's limited edition because
yeah.
we got a bunch of snacks in Japan that you can't find sometimes in a year around Christmas. But like this is what the box looks like.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. There. I'm gonna take that around and hold it up. I'm gonna wander around Little Tokyo holding that in a scene that will be not entirely unreminiscent of what we just did. Just be like, this. This.
That sums up our experience in Japan pretty accurately.
Where did you go?
I'm wondering.
Oh my god, everywhere.
You did Tokyo.
So we did Tokyo and Osaka, and then we sort of did like a little whirlwind tour of the countryside in between.
My friend used to, she did like a, you know, like students go hang out on a farm thing in Japan for a while. And everybody was given a job, you know, and her job was for like a week. They had a rice paddy, and at sundown, at dusk, monkeys would come out of the forest and try to steal the rice. And so one person's job at sundown was to line up a bunch of bottle rockets in front of that part of the forest and just shoot them at the monkeys to scare them away every night. And I was like, that's bullshit, you're lying. She's like, no, seriously, that was the job. Like, if you shot bottle rockets at the monkeys like once a day, they would get scared and not come back, but they would come back the next day and steal the rice. So that was her job. So if you ever think like, oh, I got a really awesome job offer, like it's not as awesome as that.
Like, I feel like I just missed out on like a college experience of just not going to Japan and shooting bottle rockets at monkeys.
I feel like I missed out on a career path.
Yeah, you know, right? I like, why did you stop doing that? She was like, I wanted to do cooking.
Ugh.
I feel like you're still in the supply chain of food.
I feel like you can do cooking from, whenever to whenever and take like a hour-long break to go shoot bottle rockets at monkeys.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But I could totally believe that about the monkeys. If they're anything like the deer we encountered, they're just don't care. They don't care.
You came on nihilistic deer when you were in Japan.
Oh, it's not like they were nihilistic. They were just, some of them were actively assholes.
What did they do?
Oh, okay. So we went to the Nara Deer Park, where the deer are basically conditioned that everybody's going to have some sort of snack.
Right.
Well, they're sort of sacred for the area. So
Yeah, that's true. They are sacred.
You give them to the deer, apart from like treat them very nice. And so they some of them are very friendly and kind of have manners. But some of them are like, you have biscuits. I know you do. Give them to me. Don't worry, I'll find them. Let me see your pockets.
Children.
Yeah, they will sift through your pockets and pull out anything they think is food and just eat it.
Did they go for the limited edition Pocky?
Oh god. If they were, I think they ate one lady's plastic or everything. Like, they didn't care. They just grabbed whatever wasn't tied down.
Let's see what other exciting things I have. Oh, here's another one that we got in our care package. It's chocolate biscuit banana cream.
See, I'm actually painting at this point.
Are you painting our next encounter?
I am.
And I'm gonna hide this from all of it. This is the matcha green tea.
Whoa.
That one.
Pocky. Yeah. This is
I was wondering where that bag of snacks went.
I took it up here.
They're upstairs. They're gone.
I dress more appropriately for this now.
Get that.
What's he got?
The damn it, Zach.
Doesn't everybody have a goddamn it Zach shirt?
No, but a lot of people do.
A lot of people do.
It was freaking hilarious at the convention. Anybody whose name was Zach became instantly famous as a result of all of the people wearing the goddamn it Zach t-shirt.
This looks promising.
All right, so you guys come in to the room and you are being led by your guy. And what's in there, there are several sort of bubbling spawning pool sorts of things in the room. And I don't have anything to indicate where they are, so let me just throw down a couple of dice here to represent the spawning pools. There's one over here, one over here.
Ew.
And one over here that's in this corner here. Now, those albino fish things are albino fish things.
Okay.
And everything is very, very pale, as if it's just never been in the sunlight at all. There is a line of more lizard-like things, except that instead of being exactly like lizard men, they've got a sort of fin at the end of their tail, as if they were sort of more aquatic than one normally thinks of lizard men being. And then, have we got everybody here? Because since I started, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, so a human steps up to the front of this whole thing, and you can see that she is wearing a helmet that looks a lot like the head of an anglerfish, and she's looking out from the mouth. Basically, underneath the bottom of the visor has teeth pointing up, the top of the visor has teeth pointing down, and next to her there's this enormous hulking fish type thing with recently painted red eyes that's looking at you.
What size is this room?
The room is about roughly 30 by 20.
And from the room that we were in to this room, was there any other way to go, or is this just like the adjacent room?
This is the adjacent room.
And there are there any other exits?
It's 40 by 30. Yes, there is there's a set of stairs over here on the east wall going up into darkness.
Okay.
All right, your guy comes forward, and he's got the bowl that Albrecht handed him, because he got that right before he ran around behind Albrecht, and so he walks up to the female human that's there, the only human in the room, and he's holding out the bowl, and so I take it that Albrecht is sort of here-ish. And so what do you guys do?
Right next to Albrecht.
Do what? Okay, so you're up next to
I'd like
Albrecht.
to be right next to Albrecht.
Okay.
And I'm in close formation right behind.
Okay. And then just Steve?
Also, just right behind them.
Okay.
This is clearly a dwarven maneuver that I'm not super familiar with, and somebody has to watch the rear.
Okay. I want to be
mud.
sort of angling, so I'm kind of near those stairs going up.
All right. So that's going to bring you very close to one of the spawning pools. And so
I
as you move...
I don't want to get closer than I am, but I want to, out of a respectful distance from the...
Well, Zach, you don't have a lot of options in this room, unfortunately. You can either sidle toward the stairs near the spawning pool, or you can stay back, or...
Okay, I guess within the realm of staying back, I want to be more toward the right, which is where the stairs are.
Okay, so you sort of bump into Curzum a little bit, and that moves him closer to the spawning pool.
And I'm going to say to Curzum in Dwarvish, explain to them that I've been sent from the Architects Guild, and I will brandish my guild introduction letter.
Okay, and then before you're able to translate anything, what's going on up at the front there is that your lizard guy is holding out the bowl to the woman, and she's looking at it. Okay, what do you do?
I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna explain to them that I'm from the Architects Guild. We've heard that they're sealing.
Wait! This is Ian is translating this for you. So Ian, what is it that you say?
Oh shit. I say this Inquisitor of Thalos Coptis has come to see the progress.
Okay, so there's so the woman sort of stares for a long time at Albrecht, and finally she says, "You are the Inquisitor?"
He is an Inquisitor. There's not just one. Don't you understand the hierarchy of the Church of Thalos Coptis?
I do, actually. And
mutters under his breath.
when she says that, she says it in a somewhat hostile tone, and all of the sort of albino lizard men over here begin to move a little closer, and that's the point at which you notice that she's wearing a holy symbol of Thalos Coptis.
Yeah, I assumed.
Ian,
He brought you one other thing.
Oh?
I would like to guiding bolt her.
Okay. Awesome.
It's gonna hit the fan. We gotta just pull the trigger on this.
All right, go ahead. Guiding Volt.
All right.
Okay.
See if I can hit.
And that was how we lost the rest of the party.
And that was how we TPK'd. Ooh. Ooh. I have an 18 on the die plus my bonus. I have like a 20 on the die.
Yeah, that'll do it.
20 to hit.
All
No, I'm
right.
sorry, 23.
Yeah, you need a 19 to hit her.
All right, so that's 4d6 radiant damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty good. 12, 15 plus 3, 18 damage.
Okay, so
And the next attack roll made against her before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target. If we survive that long.
okay, so so she is still up. Everybody roll initiative now.
Oh my god, I need new dice. I need new dice.
Oh, hello.
Priest.
Switch him out.
Well, I hear they're getting rid of this one very soon.
Okay. Anybody 20?
23.
Ooh.
23?
Yeah.
Just Steve Yaz, hot
Just
off the mark.
I thought you said just three.
Steve speaks Dwarvish, and he was following what was going on here, and he was bracing for trouble.
Just Steve is ready.
Just Steve is so ready.
Just Steve and more.
I've always found the shorter a character's name is, the more ready they are for a fight.
Okay, go ahead.
God. He's going to take the opportunity of this glowing lady and
Mhm.
put some arrows in her.
That's advantage
Hopefully.
for that.
Yeah. If I can just
Roll it.
not roll above a 14
That's a
is the
miss.
highest. Yeah, that was not good rolling on my part. He was ready for danger, but he wasn't good at it.
But he
All
wasn't
right.
prepared for danger.
Now, in anybody beat an 18?
No.
Okay, so she points at Curzum and casts heat metal.
Oh,
Ow.
Oh dear.
And so
That chill I felt down here is gone.
Progress.
It feels so nice and warm.
now, as far as I can tell, this one does not even involve a saving throw.
I don't think it does.
Metal's a nasty, nasty spell.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty
really
terrifying.
That's fucking ugly. Well, it's a second level spell, so
Oh god, we weren't ready for the second level of this dungeon yet.
If someone asks you
you came
if
so
you're their boss,
what?
she basically asked you if you were her boss, and you went yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you take 5 hit points of damage, Ian.
Ouch.
And then she's just concentrating on maintaining that. You are gonna have a disadvantage because she cast it on your armor. So you're going to have a disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Anybody in 17? 16? 15? In 15, the great big fish guy. Let's back the camera up a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of room here just so that it all works out space-wise. The big fish guy is going to run up. He is not going to attack Albrecht. And you see him charge forward, and then right when he was about to attack Albrecht, you see him decide that maybe discretion is the better part of valor on that one, because all that's really happened is that Curzon attacked. And so he's going to go for Gabe, Robert, I guess, right?
Dane.
Do we settle on Robert? Dane.
No.
Dane. Okay, right. Robert is the third cousin of the second.
No, he's my brother.
No, okay. Are you
Charles
writing all this
is
stuff
mine,
down
bro.
so you can keep track of the thing?
Yes.
Okay, so you he rolls a
charge.
15. What is your armor class?
Not 15. That'll hit me.
Not 15 on the good side, or not 15 in a bad way?
In a bad way.
In a bad way. All right. You take.
Just rolled up this character.
It's all right. I got more where he came from.
Okay, that's a bite for 1d6. What has he got? Multi attack? Yeah.
No.
Multi attack, yes. One with bite and one with claws. The bite does 1d6 plus 3. Okay, so you take 6 points from the bite,
Okay.
and then you take another attack with the weapon. My dice are all over the place. Okay, here we go. Attack with the weapon, and that is a 14
That still hits.
plus. Okay. 14 plus 5, so it's a 19.
Oh, God.
But we have definitely still hits.
1d6 plus 3. You take 9 hit points of damage from the weapon.
Oh, jeez.
Dane, his beard sort of flares out as he gets knocked unconscious.
Okay. So you are down.
Oh, no.
That was
I'm not
it,
going to
what,
get paid
14?
if my little dude is dead.
So 13? 12?
13.
Okay. In 13, what do? You're still ahead of the others.
I'm going to move to the how far up those stairs can I get?
Pretty far. I mean, you're only 10 feet away from the base of the stairs.
Then I will move to the top of the stairs.
When you say the top, do you mean the bottom, or you're going to head for the top?
Oh, I'm headed for the top.
Okay.
I'm going straight to the top. Oh yeah.
Okay. So run like a motherfucker is basically what I'm hearing. Is that a good interpretation of?
I think so.
Okay, so you head up the stairs.
I want to do a single movement up though, because I still want to heal myself.
Okay, so you are up the stairs.
And then I will heal myself.
Okay. See what you get.
What do you see up there?
We'll find out, won't we? All right. Cure wounds. And I do. Plus my spellcasting modifier. I heal 7 points. I'm full.
Okay. So you're healed up, and that was in 13, right?
Yeah.
12, 11, 10, 9.
Oh, that would be me.
Okay.
Make it.
Well, you don't need to make a death save until the beginning of the next round.
Oh, okay.
So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Oh boy.
In 4. What are they gonna do? All right. The others move up and basically take positions that will block the rest of you off from the door.
You mean from the
Stairs, and surround you, except for the one smaller fish thing which goes over here to guard the stairs. And then so that's in 5 and 4, 3.
Okay. So they're completely surrounding me?
Not completely, but you've got all right, I will whoops daisy. All right, I'm gonna talk so that we can see the thing showing through my thing. This is a picture basically of how things are arranged.
Yeah.
And so you're not, you're not entirely surrounded, but pretty much.
Okay.
Enough to make for a very, very bad tactical.
Are they standing in the pool?
They are not, but they're standing right next to it.
I hold out my Architects Guild introduction letter.
Okay.
And frantically saying in cracked goblin, like, I'm here to examine the ceiling.
You can't talk about ceilings. You don't know the goblin for ceiling.
No, but
you know the goblin for taco. You know the goblin for asshole. But if you're gonna put something together, it's got to be using the stuff that you can do.
Okay, I will say, this, like, here, and the main thing is to give an impression of franticness. So
yeah.
The fucking, like, I don't know what that guy's crazy. Like, that guy's an asshole. I know asshole.
Okay. All right. So you can point at the stairs and say asshole. All right.
Like, Prism, like, that dwarf is an asshole. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. And I'm like, so you know how you arrange 4 tacos and then 1 taco on top to make a room? I'm here. There's a collapsing. I point to the collapsing ceiling and I hold out my letter of introduction from the architect.
The toppings spill out one end.
Ceiling falling. That's the beef and the cheese is falling through the ceiling, and you're gonna have a hole in your you have a salad bar for the various dressings here, and the beef is gonna fall in. It's gonna get in the jello. It's gonna get.
Okay, so here's what happens. First of all, faced with this, the 4 lizardmen that are directly in front of you sort of back away slowly from you while you're doing all of this. The priestess of Thalascoptus is she's just sort of listening to all of this going on, and then finally she walks toward you and she's holding out her hand for the letter of introduction that you've been waving around.
Yeah.
This is a human.
Yeah, I hand it to her. It is a letter of introduction from
the so she takes it and she reads it.
I claim it is. So yeah.
All right.
Give me 1 second. Someone just knocked on the door.
Okay.
Is that how many rounds did that take? Because I've got something on the top of the stairs for them too.
That would have taken about 3 rounds, because rounds are pretty short. So.
Okay.
All right.
Do I, and I don't,
So
I
she
don't hear sounds of combat at the bottom of stairs.
no. Well, you hear Albrecht yelling, but that's pretty normal.
All right, I'm readying oil and a torch.
Okay. So Albrecht, she takes your letter of introduction from the Architects Guild, reads it, looks up, and says, "Kill them."
In common.
Yeah.
Do I get
hear?
do I get an action because I've been only talking, or how does this work?
Yes, you can. You can definitely, if there's something physical you want to do, you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna drop a bunch of ball bearings and run back into the mudroom.
Into the mudroom. Okay. Now here's the situation on that. Is that if we rotate the camera, there is still the very large albino fish guy, who is kind of. Sorry, my camera keeps getting twisted around because of the cables. So the big albino fish guy,
Al.
is kind of in the way. So you can drop the ball bearings.
Okay, well, basically, which way is easier to get to the stairs or back the way I came?
Oh, the stairs.
Oh, then
Okay, because all of the lizardmen backed away while all of that was going on.
Then I will run toward the stairs and drop the ball bearings on the stairs behind me as I go.
Okay, so you run up the stairs and drop the ball bearings behind you. You're up the stairs.
Like these characters anyway.
Dane, Dane, make the first of your likely last death save.
Yeah. I rolled a 13. I made that one.
Okay. Alla, what does just Steve do?
Oh, okay. So just Steve takes in the situation.
Mhm.
Realizes that his paycheck is with the dwarf that is sort of like passed out on the floor.
Uh-huh.
Grabs Dane by the beard.
Okay.
And disengages up those stairs, using his
Okay.
oven dexterity to gracefully jump around the ball bearings.
Yeah, the ball bearings are an issue. Roll a d20.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's going to make it a lot easier to tow Dane along with you, that he's rolling along on ball bearings. But
it's
easier for an elf than somebody with webbed feet.
to say, any bonuses? It's a nat 14. Figured acrobatics or a dex save might be appropriate.
do you have acrobatics?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and
20 acrobatics.
all right.
There you go.
So wait, 20. Well, it doesn't get you a re-roll, but it gets you what? Your proficiency plus it gets you your proficiency added to it.
Yeah, so it's my proficiency and my dexterity modifier.
Right. So it's a 16, and then
It's a 14 plus the 6 for that, so 20 total.
Oh, okay. All right. So it is a 20. All right. Yeah, I thought you had re-rolled. Okay. So yeah, you with that you are able to successfully avoid the ball bearings, successfully get around the spawning pool, which when you glance down at it as you're running by is filled with little tiny piranha-like versions of these lizard men guys and the big fish there. You run up the stairs, and you are now up the stairs. Dane, make a second death save because of the extra time that was going on down there.
And I'd like to throw my burning oil down the stairs once they're all up.
All right.
I make the second one as well.
Okay. That means that you're conscious now.
I think I need one more to do.
Is it 3?
I mean, it's not to shoot
3
myself in the
successes.
foot here, but it's 3.
He knows how to
Right.
do
Okay,
that.
that's right. No, I
I
did.
have a lot of practice on the
Yeah,
death
we're
save,
kind
right?
of
I did this just last week. It's fine.
Okay, so towing Dane by the beard, just Steve the elf dashes up the stairs through the ball bearings. Then Kurzim hurls the oil flask and lights it, so that the stairs are now filled with flame.
I was trying to aim for the bottom if I could still see that guy that was hanging out.
Not really. I mean, you took a full movement up there. You're actually quite high up the stairs.
I'm all right with that.
Okay. Yeah, there are major benefits to being high up the stairs. So, all right.
The
So
stairs on fire.
So you guys are all basically just hauling ass with Dane bump up the stairs, which gets a little bit rougher once he's out of ball bearings to coast along.
Yeah.
You have got now. What the stairs do is they alternate in steepness, and they turn. Even in one point, they slide down a little bit of a ramp and then start going back up again. But it's all going in an upward direction. And then all of a sudden, you guys are looking up at what appears to be a ceiling made of greenish glass. You are in an area, it's only about a 10-foot by 10-foot little chamber of natural rock. And it's got this green glass, almost shifting ceiling to it. What do you do?
Are they still coming?
Sorry?
Are they still coming?
Oh, yeah. You can hear them coming behind you.
Okay, so
This
all
is a
of
good-
the ceiling does have exit?
How long has it been?
Oh, long enough for Dane to make one more death save.
Well, I was gonna.
I make that one too.
Okay. So you're conscious. You're unconscious but stabilized at this point. So, so you guys are in the room. You're looking around. What do? You don't have long.
Are there exits in the room?
Nope.
Okay, so it's a dead end. I'm gonna put the animal trap right at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
And then be around the corner up against the wall.
I'd also like to jam the poison needle, but give him the poison needle to add to the animal trap.
Okay. Just Steve, what are you doing?
Just Steve is gonna look around for a way to get out of here. And you said this is natural rock?
It's natural rock, and then up at the ceiling, there's this sort of shifty, watery glass ceiling.
Is it
Okay.
water above us?
Well, that is what it looks like.
We're underwater.
It's a 20 perception check. See if I can see any way out.
Not other than through the ceiling.
All
10.
right.
I would like to dump the sack of mud on top of the trap.
9. You do that.
Then can we
That
get
is-
inside the room on the sides so that they have to come in and we can take shots at them?
8. Yes.
Can you
I
get
will.
the fill beard up?
Or I will check another thing of oil and flame on there down the stairs. And I will huck the whole bag of spikes down on the stairs so that it's like you're standing on a bunch of pitons and they are cylindrical, so they should roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep talking until you tell me to stop.
7.
I'd like to tie the body and then tie it to each of us.
Can you?
Dane, you mean?
Yes, we want Dane to be attached to all of us if we're gonna go underwater, right?
Do you have any of them?
I'm
You got
going.
healing magics, little dude.
I'm gonna.
No.
Okay, well,
Put
I
the
think if we just pop that ceiling there, we might be able to
ground. I'm gonna put.
maybe
I'm gonna hug
6.
acid. I'm gonna put the thing of acid in the animal trap.
I'm just gonna do acid.
It starts to dissolve your animal trap.
Well, no, not. I'm gonna put it in the bottle so that the person who steps in the mud and they don't see the animal trap will step onto the bottle and it shatters and there's acid. Not
So they get poison needled, animal trapped, and they've got a muddy foot.
exactly.
I continue to just lie there.
And there's also spikes. I have 10 of oil, so I'm just gonna dump all of them on the stairs. So
All right, 5. That's in 5. You dump the oil on the stairs.
I hand just Steve 2 oils.
All right, you hand just Steve 2 oils.
and I prepare 2 more so that they're within easy reach. And then I light a torch.
And I'm going to
Get your weapon out. I get my warhammer out and my torch.
weapon out.
We got
I'll
this.
also have a mastiff. I haven't.
What?
Him, but
What?
he's my equipment.
Where were you keeping that?
He's been quiet.
Pocket mastiffs?
I mean,
This
he's
is
Very well
Pokemon.
trained.
It's a mastiff. You have a little piece of parchment that has the word mastiff written on it.
That's right.
And an ugly.
No, I believe you, Zach. I'm just saying that it's a
Okay, I shan't use
it's a
the mastiff. That would be cheating.
I throw the mastiff down the stairs.
all right. The
I have the meat. I'm gonna throw the meat down the stairs.
Why don't we just throw everything we own down the stairs and hope that it appeases their god?
I throw Dane down the stairs.
No.
All right, you hear them. They've sort of stopped at one of the curves in the stairs, and you hear them making their plans too, and they're talking in common. And one of them is talking about turning into a crocodile, and another one they're talking about what they're going to do is throw oil into the room and smoke you guys out. Because apparently you have not. They're talking something about the ceiling. They're like, they think they're trapped there, and so they're just going to throw flammables in there and kill you with the smoke. And then a couple minutes after you hear that,
Wait, minutes? I mean, I'm not gonna wait minutes after I hear that.
well, by minutes, I actually mean it's only a couple seconds before the first couple of oil flasks go up there and
As
shatter.
soon as they say that they're gonna shoot oil, I'll just block the doorway with shields.
All right, you do that. So there's the clinkety clankety of oil flasks against
What
that.
about your trap? You're just like on opposite sides of the doorway blocking him?
I don't think they're anywhere here. They're just hucking stuff at us from lower down. So
Right, and Albrecht knows where the trap is, so he's not
Okay.
stepping on it.
I'll huck an oil back at them if they throw one up here.
then you have to open the shields. Like if you just put a shield over the door, they can throw all their rocks and hit the shield.
Well, yeah, there's not a door; it's an archway, but you can block it with shields. Yeah.
So what about the ceilings? You should I'll check the ceiling and see how hard it is.
I mean,
I understand that this might seem counterintuitive, but don't shatter the glass ceiling.
I really want to shatter the glass ceiling. I have been like, as soon as we walked in here, I was like, I'm going to shatter that glass ceiling. It's going to be poetic, and also we're going to die in it.
They're fishmen.
So what do you do?
Oh God, I don't even know what to do here. This is awful. I'm
going to make chicken noises. Buck, 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 buck. Come on up.
All right, they're lighting a fire down there and fanning and letting the smoke begin to rise up toward you guys, since their idea of throwing oil into the room has failed. So you're beginning to have smoke rising up into the room. Right at this point, you don't think it's a major suffocation issue, but they're gonna, if y'all don't do something, either get out or come down and fight your way through them, you guys are gonna die in this room. So, Ala, what do you do?
So is there anything, I guess, to tie us off on?
Yeah, well, Dane is tied to everybody.
Yeah, besides that, like some sort of natural rock formation that we can tie ourselves off to.
No.
Damn. Oh shit.
Is the smoke
Yeah, that's
visually obscuring the whole stairway?
Not yet. Oh, the stairway. Yeah, the stairway below you. Yes, it's beginning to visually obscure it.
And how wide is the stairway?
10 feet. Let me cut back to Ala, though. Ala, what are you doing with the...
okay. I don't see a way out of here, but if we can see the fact that the water is like there and that it's moving, means that it's not that deep.
And
maybe
if we crack it just by the door and stand back.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. We crack it right over the door so that it just goes right down into that stairway.
Okay.
I
You don't
hand you a
have
hammer and
long. How are
spike.
you doing it? What are you doing?
I hand you a hammer and spike.
There are
Well,
no spikes. There are no spikes. I'll break
got-
through all the spikes
I've got my
down.
bow, and
Oh no, I've got iron spikes too.
Okay.
I've got my bow. I'm going to try to crack that precision with my bow.
Okay. So you shoot up toward the ceiling with the bow over the
Yep.
top of the archway. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. The arrow shoots up through the ceiling and disappears.
The
Can you
what?
touch the ceiling?
It's an illusion.
All right
I'm
then.
gonna boost her up.
All right.
How tall is it's 20
Who
feet
is
up,
it
right?
that's holding the shields in front of the archway?
It was me on one of them.
All right. And so you're gonna step aside and boost just Steve up to the ceiling?
Well, did they? Are they still
they have
throwing
quit,
stuff?
They have quit throwing stuff actually, so it's probably not such a big issue. They have quit throwing stuff. So they're just relying on their fire, which is beginning to send more and more smoke in there, and so now it's beginning to rise up in there, and people are starting to start coughing. And
So I'll boost just Steve up.
all right. So your hand is millimeters away from the glass. Steve, what do you do?
Reach up and touch it.
Your fingers
Have
go
faith.
through it.
Oh.
Your fingers go through it, and now they're wet because your fingers are underwater, but the water's not coming through whatever it is that you just poked your hand through.
All right, we gotta climb.
Zach,
So
have we
go
still
up.
got you here?
In Dwarven, I'm gonna say, little dudes,
Okay.
you gotta climb up here.
You got to go up, and we got to pull up Dane.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start climbing up there.
Okay, so
I,
you're gonna
I will
climb.
boost her as much as possible.
That's not bad.
Let me, since we are doing this, I'm gonna actually switch my camera over real quick so that we've got a camera on me instead of on.
How high is the ceiling, Matt?
The ceiling is 10 feet from the floor.
So that means that the smoke's going right up through this illusion, right?
Well, there's water on the other side of the illusion, so it's
Yeah,
not
it's
going
not-
through the water.
The smoke itself is being blocked by whatever it is. The thing that you're calling an illusion is blocking.
It's a massive lizard man water bong.
That's not
Whoa,
entirely
that's really
inaccurate.
clever,
Well, we did
dude.
come to them bearing a bowl.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, I should have whipped out my alchemical supplies and like totally traded with a man. I probably have the good shit, the good
So you've got-
Underdark shit.
Got a letter of introduction from the Chemists Guild.
It's like, Allah's got an entire alchemical laboratory, and Zach has a mastiff.
That can carry a laboratory.
That's right. The laboratory has been on the back of the mastiff. So, how does that do light-wise? That's fine. So yeah, I mean, Allah, so here is the level at which the water does not fall down. All right, you reached your hand up through that. Now your hand's underwater. Okay, so that's what's going on. This is why I wanted to try and get a camera on myself here, is to show that. So that's what's going on, and you're standing there, and Kurzum is, you're standing on Kurzum's shoulders to do this. You have got Dane, lying down on the floor, essentially not helping anybody, tied to everybody though.
He's resting.
Take a
And
power
then
nap.
now at the moment, Albrecht, you are. I'm taking it that you're still at the moment holding a shield up to sort of block the archway.
Well, if they stop throwing shit, then I will. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna stand aside so that I'm not like an obvious target if they run up here. I guess.
Okay, and they have stopped throwing stuff, so you're able to step to the side and not be a target if they decide to try it with arrows. What do y'all do next?
Okay, so Alice.
I'm
So
climbing.
we're gonna let Alan climb up.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb up and see if I can get all the way up in there.
Okay, now the moment that you get your head past the level of that, you can't breathe. This is real water, and so you keep going up.
Yeah, I'm just climbing up. I mean, clearly there's
Roll a
some sort
d20.
Can she see?
Yeah, as well as you can see underwater.
And what's up
says
there?
17.
17, you said?
Yep.
Okay. So you are able to climb your way up the side of what it turns out is a natural pool that's just sort of on the hillside, along with various other pools. It's not particularly deep, and you come out on the far side of that.
All right, and I'm gonna start tugging them up.
Okay.
I throw my torch into the hallway where our oil is.
Okay. So that lights up all of the oil, and the smoke that comes from that, plus the existing smoke that they're fanning out there, means that they are not going to know that you guys have figured out how to get out. So that buys you a little bit of time.
And we pull everybody up and climb with Dane and as well.
Okay. You guys all managed to get out, and you are still on the hillside where the old city of Jordoba got buried, and so you are within only about a 10-minute fast run of the Crow Gate into the city.
Okay, then let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys run.
Dave Bellbeard on my back and.
Okay. So you guys are able to make it back into the city.
Whoa.
I'm gonna.
They were out of mushrooms.
Little dudes, you promised me mushrooms, man. What is up with that? And instead we get fish people and like lizard people that want to kill us.
You want to see a mastiff?
All right. At this point,
do you want to see my mastiff?
At this point, as you guys get back to your place, a large dog pads out from where it's been, guarding y'all's room and comes up and starts licking Albrecht.
Oh, dude. Oh. I forgot to bring you on this adventure yesterday.
Susan.
Actually, well, no, you forgot to bring him on, or her. It was Susan, isn't it? You forgot to bring the dog on the entire thing. But being a loyal dog, it followed Dane all the way from where you guys left it, barking at some people who were involved in the high-speed donkey chase, and it is now gotten to Jordoba and found you.
Ah, my loyal pup.
Homeward bound.
Homeward bound, and probably going to become Old Yeller too at some point.
Oh,
I haven't lost.
Very quickly.
I was going to say I haven't lost a dog yet, but that's not true at all. I haven't lost a dog outside of a Jeff Reeds dungeon yet.
Loyal friend, many adventures have I had since last I laid eyes upon you.
So
I say to the elf, look, a mastiff.
You were able to confirm
dude,
that, it's a massive.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's a cool girl. Yeah, she's cool, man.
All right, so let's talk about experience points. You guys did. Let's see. Did you actually kill anything?
Survive.
There was you killed
We caused the death
one
of
guy.
3. We
You killed
supervised
one
the death
lizard
of
man.
2 others.
Yeah.
some of those folk and Skelly are going to suffer from bulk inhalation, I'm certain.
Hey, let me find my.
We
They could be
gave away
coughing for
one gold
days.
piece and
You-
killed one guy.
That's right. You're down. You're down 1 gold piece and up 1 monster. So let's. I'm gonna give you all a couple of bonuses for good play there, because there were a couple of things that I thought were pretty impressive. But definitely in terms of the basic, how did we do? I don't think that the answer is going to be all
We did
that great. Okay,
Everybody's
Right, you got-
alive.
you got
We
100
survived.
experience points for killing that guy in the hallway. who creeped up on Albrecht, and you'll get 100 total for the 2 that died. So there's another 100. So that's 200 for you guys to divide up. There were a couple of things there that I thought were really good. I thought that Zach's quickly putting things in a situation where he could overhear them because they didn't think that he spoke the language that they were speaking, and getting them to talk in front of her. And that's going to be worth 400 experience points to the party right there. The defense on the stairs there that you guys set up, even though it didn't get tested, would be that's worth 100. And so you've got 500 experience points to divide.
I thought that was 700 because it was 100 for the first guy, then 100, then 400.
Yes, so 700. Yeah, that's just me not keeping the total going right in my head.
Wait, isn't that 600?
No, it's 7.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Somebody added it up.
It's
This is why I
175
use
each.
milestones like
It's-
everywhere else.
Yeah, well, milestone wise, I'm not sure that y'all didn't go backward on this one, really.
well, we found the weird temple.
You know where shit really went sideways, Ian? That was all on you, man.
Was the guiding bolt? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was really where everything went pear-shaped, because if y'all had, because they thought, up until she read the document, they thought that Albrecht might somehow be an official in the Church of Thalascoptis.
Yeah,
because
but
that was sort of what they were drawing from the combinations of what he was saying, and then that bowl, which was the thing was that y'all killed the guy who this was supposed to be. That was the guy carrying the bowl. And so that's why there was all of the confusion about the identity.
it was bound to go pear shaped. I was hoping for a one-shot kill on her.
Well, we do know where they live now. I think we can just go back down into that pool and maybe we can sneak in, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Well, there was
definitely your optimal. Now
Almost
that's a lot of
one-shot kills, so at least that part of the plan went well. It just wasn't
The one shot you were hoping for.
wasn't the one shot we were looking for.
It was some significant damage. If we could have pulled off the bow shot, we might have had a chance.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
about that.
my dice rolls are garbage in combat.
Bow
Apparently,
shot? Like you're gonna drown the lizard fishman?
No, like we're gonna kill the human priestess.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be like a high level priestess because she was shooting compared to us, she was shooting a 2nd level spell, which means she's at least like 3rd or 4th level, right? I don't know. Plus, there was a lot of them.
There were
Yeah.
quite a few there.
I think
I was very excited to run away.
I'll put it this way. You guys were not in the sort of situation that anyone ever manages to fight their way out of in terms of the comparison of the two forces on the side. Fighting it out there, it would have just been formula to go through the rolls.
this is a pretty good old school tutorial. We had 2 because 2 people were just dead. We had 1 almost die. We only fought 1 guy. We ran away a lot.
A lot. We talked our way out of every encounter we could.
The players were smarter than the characters. The characters have no skill.
You see, y'all could have, if you'd played your cards right, I think you could have gotten them to give you their treasure.
If I had just brought them
You
out.
say that now. But
No,
but have you heard Albrecht talk to them like that?
Hey,
The minute she
he was doing a hell of a lot better than a guiding bolt.
that's well,
I was about to speak into her mind too with the voice of the fish god.
oh, that would have been so good.
That was-
Next time.
all right.
But
I've
guiding
never met a
bolt.
wizard before.
We just got to work on our strategy, little dudes. That'll be great next time.
I went straight
I like
to
it.
Omega.
I did not just hear the elf say that dwarven strategies didn't work.
Just maybe we'll try like an elven strategy next time.
What would be an elven strategy? Should we wrap ourselves in leaves and do an interpretive dance?
Well, that might have really confused them at the time, or they could have thought we were actually like priests of their like weird fish god.
I feel like we did a pretty good job of confusing them as it was. I'm assuming I'm conscious now.
I'm still confused too.
Excellent. I feel
I'm still not sure how we got out of that. Eh?
We will confuse all the inhabitants of Jordoba and then ride on a road of boats.
All right, everybody. Well, let's. I think we'll go ahead and call it there. Let's take a real quick look over at the chat and see if we've had anybody ask any questions or do anything that we need to do show type stuff. And okay, there's all of.
Yeah.
What do we got? That was fruitful expedition. Roll to catch the oil the lizards are throwing and throw it back. So we had somebody. Oh, Ollie, you were even posting on here.
Yeah, Gabe was in here too at one point. We're just it's good to see if there's anything going on in the chat. Hello, friends.
This is a picture of how you're fucked. Yeah, because Sarah said it about right.
Oh,
It was a close one there, guys.
we were fine.
All right. Well, it doesn't. It looks like people have pretty much finished up on the chat too. So we will let's go ahead and end it there, and get together next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt.
All right. You're absolutely welcome. It was a great time.
Have a good night. Thank you for the game.
You're ridiculous, Zach.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.